उमज्ञातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधुवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनेति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। So now we are discussing the last three verses. Today is the last session on this book, Nectar of Instruction. The last verse was a little bit, there was a lot of depth in that verse, a little bit complex. Eighth verse. Now these last three verses describe about the glories of Vrindavan, the glories of Srimati Radharani, and the glories of the Kund of Srimati Radharani, which is Sri Radha Kund. And like the epitome, the stage of prema is discussed here. The goal, the highest point in one's devotion. Okay. वैकुण्ठा जनितो वरा मधुपुरी तत्रापि रासोत्सवात् वृन्दारण्यमुदारपाणिरमणात् तत्रापि गोवर्धनात् राधाकुण्डमिहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृताप्लावनात् कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिनका। Okay. Vaikuntha is superior to the material world. वैकुंठा जनितोवरा, जनितोवरा मतलब जो जन के लोग हैं, और दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, वैकुंठा is higher than that, and Madhupuri Tattarapi means Madhupuri refers to Mathura, is still superior. Vaikuntha is superior to the material world, and Mathura is still superior because Krishna appeared there. Then Vrindaranyam Udara, Vrindavan is even more superior. Rasotsavad, the first line, Tatrapi Rasotsavad. Tatrapi means even higher than Mathura, is because Krishna tasted the Ras Leela here. Rasotsavad, Vrindavan, Vrindaranyam, because he tasted the Ras Leela in Vrindavan. That's why Vrindavan is even higher than Madhupuri, and um, Madhupuri is superior to Vaikuntha, and Vaikuntha is superior to material world. And Udara Pani Ramanath um, performs Ramana performed any pastime. Pani Govardhan Hill is still superior for Krishna raised it. Pani refers to hand. Krishna raised it with his divine hand and performed his pastimes there. Many pastimes Krishna performed in Govardhan. That's why Govardhan Hill is superior to Vrindavan. So higher than material world is Vaikunt, higher than Vaikunt is Mathura, because Krishna appeared there. Higher than Mathura is Vrindavan, because Krishna performed his Ras Leela there. And higher than Vrindavan is Govardhan, because every day Krishna would perform so many pastimes on Giriraj Govardhan. Um, Radha Kundam Ihapi, and even higher, from even greater than Govardhan Hill. Sri Radha Kund stands above all, as it is overflooded with the nectar of divine love of Krishna, the Lord of Gokula. And Radha Kund is even superior to Govardhan Hill because it is filled with the nectar of divine love of Krishna. This place has that potency. Then who is that intelligent person unwilling to serve Radha Kund, which is at the foot of Govardhan Hill? Um, Sevam Viveki. Viveki means intelligence, Vivek. Um, is there anybody who is any intelligent person, anybody who would not serve Radha Kund? One who knows the glories of Radha Kund. So this particular verse 9 describes a kind of hierarchy of material world, spiritual world, and different planets in the spiritual world, and why one is superior over another. Mathura because of Krishna's appearance, Raslila because of Vrindavan because of Raslila, Govardhan because of many other pastimes, including Raslila. Then Radha Kund is because it is filled with overflooded. Uh, Overflooded means like the concentrated divine love, the divine nectar, um, concentrated mercy, um, everything concentrated lies on the bank of Radhakund. That's why there is nothing beyond that. An intelligent person um, understanding this should serve Radhakund. And from the example also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he um, gave this task to the six Goswamis to excavate the lost places in Braja area. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally found Radhakund, or like, yeah, excavated Radhakund Shamkund personally. Um, so many places Mahaprabhu could find now. Many were lost. But only one place he found himself. He took his bath in Radhakund, and then he took a tour around Govardhan, different forests of Vrindavan, and then Mahaprabhu left. That shows how greatly important is Sri Radha. Okay. Some more description from the purport. Vaikuntha, situated in the spiritual sky, occupying three-fourths of the total creation, is the most exalted abode and is superior to the material world. It says Vaikuntha is three-fourths of the total creation. Material world is one-fourth. Um, Superior to material world. Mathura and the adjoining areas, although appearing in the material world, are superior to Vaikuntha because Krishna himself appeared at Mathura. This is so nice that even in the material world, Mathura, um, of course, we have heard and we hear many times, Mathura that is situated near Delhi. Um, um, that place is superior to Vaikuntha above the material existence. And the reason is this Mathura is not different from the Mathura there. which is above Vaikuntha planets, because Krishna himself appeared here. Then Vrindavan is superior to Mathura. And this also reminds me, there is a book by Sanatan Goswami, it's called Brihad Bhagavatamrita, where it says Gop Kumar was on his journey. He went to many places in this material world, including he went to um, Jagannath Puri, Varanasi. He went to various places. Um, he would keep continue chanting his mantra that will elevate him to higher and higher um, transcendental locations. And then he even went to Vaikuntha. And from Vaikuntha, at the end, he came to Mathura Vrindavan area to do his bhajan in order to get access to Golok Vrindavan. So this area, Mathura Vrindavan area, is higher than even Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual world. Hare Krishna. Then Vrindavan is superior to Mathura because of the presence of 12 forests, Dwadasavana. In that song also comes Dwadasa Kanana. And these are 12 forests of Vraja in Vrindavan area, such as Talavan, Madhuvan, Bahulavan, which are famous for the various pastimes of Krishna, including the Ras Leela. And although Krishna appeared in Mathura, he relished his pastimes in Vrindavan, in the 12 forests of Vrindavan. That's why they are superior to Mathura. Then Hill is even more superior because Krishna lifted it like an umbrella to protect the Vrajvasis from the rains sent by Indra. At Govardhan, Krishna tends the cows with the Gopas and perform loving pastimes with his most beloved Sri Radha. So Govardhan is like even more superior because whatever pastimes happens in Vrindavan, they happens on Govardhan also. And Govardhan is one place which is loved by or beloved of every resident of Vrindavan. Um, all the pastimes, even Sakhya Ras or Madhurya Ras, all various pastimes of Krishna's happens there. It's dear to everybody. It reminds me, and Govardhan is so much dear to Sri Radha also. It reminds me when Srimati Radharani, I think everyone knows, but it's transcendental subject matter. And more and more we speak and we hear, it's wonderful. So Krishna told Srimati Radharani that it's time for us to go down. And Srimati Radharani says, I cannot go without Yamuna and without Govardhan. So it's so dear, Govardhan is so dear to Srimati Radharani. And it is also mentioned that Govardhan appeared from the heart of Krishna. That Govardhan appeared from the heart of Krishna. Actually, Srimati Radharani asked Sri Krishna that Krishna, can you create a place where we can perform our loving pastimes? Then from his heart, Krishna says, yes, if that's what you want. Then from his heart came Giriraj Govardhan. Then Radha Kund is superior to all. Radha Kund is actually right on the bank of Govardhan. Still, it is superior to Govardhan also. It is superior to all because Krishna's love overflows there. And Krishna's like Radha Kund is like most dear to Krishna. And whenever even Krishna, when he's in distress now, Krishna comes to Radha Kund and Krishna asks Radha Kund. And whatever Krishna desires from Radha Kund is like, that's how Krishna even deals Radha Kund. Like, if you get a chance to enter into Krishna's heart, and then if you look into Krishna's heart and you ask Krishna's heart this question that where do you want to go? What is like what place just the moment you remember you feel like surge of ecstasy. You can ask Krishna who is the source of ecstasy. And the dearest place to Krishna's heart is Radha Kund. Right? Given a chance, that's where I want to go all the time. Um, and naturally, it's because it is so dear to Krishna and overflowing with Krishna's love. That's why that uh, takes the highest position. So Radha Kund is superior to all because Krishna's love overflows there. And Krishna's eternal loving affairs with Radharani, Rati Vilas, took place there. So advanced devotees prefer to recite at Radha Kund, the special storehouse of Krishna's nectarian love, Premamrita. So advanced devotee, they prefer to recite at Radha Kund. One time devotees asked Aindra Prabhu, those who know he was Srila Prabhupada's disciple and kind of personification of Kirtan Ras, Aindra Prabhu. So Aindra Prabhu says, it is very high to live on the banks of Radha Kund. And he says only perfected souls should actually go and reside there. We can visit there. If we want, we can stay for 1 2 days is fine. But to be able to reside there, Aindra Prabhu says, because the place is so much filled with um, like the bhakti is very high there. So there are equally high chances of um, dham aparadh also, because if our consciousness is not able to perceive it in that way. One time I remember Yuval Kishore Prabhuji was mentioning, so he was preaching to one big businessman who was very rich and helped UVP in a big way. He helped our Farmington temple also in a big way, in a decent way basically. Um, and later on, he started chanting 16 rounds, got initiated by Radhanath Maharaj. Then Yugal Kishore Prabhuji invited him to Maharaj Yatra. That time Maharaj Yatra was happening in Vrindavan. I don't remember which year was that. Maybe 16, 17, maybe. Uh, then he went there. Um, Yuval Kishore Prabhuji also arranged few minutes meeting with Maharaj. Um, and then after then Maharaj met both of them, Yuval Kishore Prabhuji and that businessman, who was now his disciple actually. Or maybe he got initiated later on, don't remember. But he was chanting 16 rounds for sure. Then later on, Radhanath Maharaj told Yugal Kishore Prabhuji that you should not have brought him here. Because he was like he's a big businessman and US everything clean and he sees Vrindavan and then he's saying why it's Krishna's land, why it's dirty like this. So in this way he was having some thoughts and he expressed to Maharaj, this is how. So basically some seva pran was there. So Maharaj told you shouldn't have brought him here. So and what to speak about Vrindavan itself is like because Maharaj said this place is filled with so much divine potency. And so the bhakti is also, it is very favorable for bhakti also. Um, but the other side also can take place. Some negative impact may be there if you make mistake. The reaction is also quite immediate there because bhakti is so high. Now, if that is the case with Vrindavan, but to speak about Radha Kund, what is the position of Radha Kund? How much it is filled with like dearmost place to Krishna. Um, like if you buy a house and maybe it's dearmost to you, and somebody comes to your house and criticize, hey, क्या घर खरीदा आपने? इतने छोटे छोटे room है. What kind of home did you buy? So the person is so like the house owner, or we may be like it is so beloved to us, and somebody comes and find faults or criticize them. It's very painful. So likewise, because this place is so dear to Krishna's heart and heart of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani's personal kund. She made it with her own kangan, with her own bangles. That's why another name of Radha Kund is Kangan Kund also. And if it is so dear to the Lord, and somebody goes and even find fault in the mind, then it is not. And see, it is very good for progress in devotional service. Bhakti is like I don't know how many rounds here is, how many rounds there, but the highest. So it is so divine and so potent. Um, but because material consciousness may be there, that may hamper us also. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, so advanced devotees prefer to reside at Radha Kund. The special storehouse of Krishna's nectarian love, Premamrita, is filled there. Lord Chaitanya searched for Radha Kund in his first visit to Brajbhumi and finally found it and took bath there. Later, the pond was excavated by his devotees headed by the six Goswamis. When Mahaprabhu went there, Mahaprabhu was asking for where is Aritagram, and the Vrajvasis didn't know where is Aritagram, and they were like maybe that side because Vrindavan is always glorious, but it became unknown to people because of the time factor. So Mahaprabhu found two small ponds where people were like dhobi, um, cloth washing, person washing their cloth and beating the cloth and putting some soap. Nobody was seeing that place as the holiest of the holy places and dearmost to Krishna's heart. But they were thinking these are two small ponds. Nobody takes bath there. The water was also filled with, if you wash clothes there, then all the dirt of um, cloth goes there, and that was the impression in people's mind. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw, Mahaprabhu ran and Mahaprabhu jumped and Mahaprabhu started glorifying verses. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnu Ratyanta Vallabha. Just like Srimati Radharani is dearmost to Krishna. You ask Krishna's heart, whom do you love the most, or which devotee do you remember and you feel like surge of ecstasy, Krishna's heart, then that devotee Srimati Radharani. And how dear is Srimati Radharani to Sri Krishna? Nothing else can compare. And um, 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 Radha Kundam Priyam Tatha. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu. Just like how Radharani is dear. Tatha Kundam Priyam Tatha. Likewise, the Kund is also that much dear. What feeling Sri Krishna has for Srimati Radharani, that kind of feeling Sri Krishna has for Sri Radha Kund. So Mahaprabhu himself, because he Sri Krishna himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani, he could not like Mahaprabhu just ran um, and just jumped because this is her Kund, this is his Kund. He's in the mood of Srimati Radharani uh, and this is Mahaprabhu and this is Radha Kund. So he just jumped there. Um, and then Mahaprabhu started glorifying many verses, glorifying Sri Radha. Then later on, the Goswamis, all the Goswamis, they have their bhajan kuti there. And some of them, they made Radha Kund as a place of bhajan, especially Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. They made their bhajan and they wrote their books there. And others would come and stay there for a good amount of time. Um, and later on, Raghunath Das Goswami, with the help of Jiva Goswami, it was small pond that time. Then Raghunath Das Goswami, he excavated it and make it very big. And in the middle, the Kangan Kund, where Mahaprabhu took bath, in the middle of Radha Kund, that is still there. Mm. Radha Kund can be worshipped only by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Even other sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, other sampradaya, they don't know the importance and glories of Radha Kund. It can be worshipped only by Gaudiya Vaishnavas or followers of Lord Chaitanya only know the glories of Sri Radha Kund. Its spiritual importance cannot be realized by other Vaishnava sampradayas or non-devotees. Um, when we go to Radha Kund, we don't wash our feet there. This time also we um, were asked not to bring our slippers on the bank of Radha. So every culture is because out of respect for what this place is. Devotees endowed with true spiritual intelligence perform bhakti while residing at Radhakund, either in their material bodies or in their spiritually perfected forms. Um, So those who are advanced can go and reside there, even if they're in their material body, but they're very advanced. Or if they are realized, they are spiritual in their spiritually perfected forms also. Um, um, Either ways, performing bhakti there by sadhakas or siddhas, basically, perfected soul or practicing devotees who are advanced sadhakas can reside there and perform their bhajan. Sri Rupa Goswami, being fully conversant with the devotional sentiments within Lord Chaitanya's heart, has described service to Radhakund as the topmost. See, here it says Rupa Goswami, being fully conversant with the devotional sentiments within Lord Chaitanya's heart. It was the dearmost place to Lord Chaitanya also. And Rupa Goswami we describe as Sri Chaitanya Manobhishta, one who knows the mind of Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami. So he's fully aware, um, and he knows Mahaprabhu's heart. And understanding Mahaprabhu's heart, he has described service to Radhakund as the topmost. The glories of Radhakund are incomprehensible and inaccessible. Incomprehensible means it is we cannot comprehend, we cannot glorify, or we cannot reach, we cannot do justice by glorifying Radhakund. It is so high. That's why we cannot comprehend how glorious is Sri Radhakund. We cannot understand basically. We cannot comprehend. No matter how many verses we read and how many stories we know and how many examples we have seen, still we cannot comprehend that much glorious is Sri Radhakund. And inaccessible even for devotees who may have taken shelter of Madhurya Ras, yet are devoid of devotion to Lord Chaitanya. And it is said, um, I think last was described this in more detail. The Radha Kund is mainly like, we were discussing how uh, Raganuga Bhakti, um, one is attracted to a particular relationship and one hears more and more about a particular Ragatmika Bhakta or a Brajvasi, eternal associate of the Lord, whom he or whom the Jiva wants to follow. So this Radha Kund is mainly a place of worship for those who are interested in Madhurya Ras or having a like um, um, Madhurya Ras, uh, Madhurya Ras. Yeah, those who um, those who are follower or are desiring Madhurya Ras, for them Radha Kund is the topmost shelter for them. Um, and there may be others. There are in fact others who want to have a loving relationship with Krishna in Madhurya Ras, but they are not follower of Lord Chaitanya. Even they cannot understand the glory of Radha Kund. The glory of Radha Kund can be known only by Gaudiya Vaishnavas or only by the followers of Lord Chaitanya. For others, it is inaccessible and incomprehensible. Okay. Any questions so far on this verse 9? These are very small, small verses, 2, 3 paragraphs of purport. So we will go fast on these verses. Okay. Then the glory of Sri Radha and Radha. कर्मी व्यापृतो हर परितो हरे प्रियतया व्यक्तिं ययुर्ज्ञानिनां तेभ्यो ज्ञानविमुक्तभक्तिपरमा प्रेमैकनिष्ठास्तथा तेभ्यस्तापशुपालपङ्कजदृशास्ताभ्योऽपि शाराधिका प्रेष्ठा तद्वदीयं तदीयसरसि तां नाश्रयेत् काकृति. Scripture say that Gyanis are dearer to Lord Krishna than the Karmis. Superior to Karmis or Karmi Yogis are Gyanis. because karmi yogis or karmis are attached to results of their activities. But Gyanis understand whatever results may be attached to, the benefit will be temporary. And Gyanis know that there is something beyond, and they want to find that what is beyond. So they do a lot of speculation. So Gyanis are superior to Karmis. Superior to the Gyanis are the Jnana Vimuktas. So some are Gyanis who do a lot of mental speculation, read a lot of scriptures. But some are Gyan Vimukta means those who are Vimukta means those who are liberated by Gyan. Um, um, Among them, those who take to bhakti are the best. So Gyanis did a lot of mental speculation, but those who advance in Gyan, they may come to the understanding that what is the source of everything, and they may come to understanding about God. Um, they may approach God through Gyan. They may conclude that. And among those who are liberated and very advanced, and among those, some of the Gyanis may take to the path of serving God. Gyan is like knowledge, understanding, and finding God. Gyan basically, the goal of Gyan is to find God, and goal of Bhakti is to serve whom we have found. So that's why among them, those who take to Bhakti are the best. Among such devotees, those who develop love for Krishna are greater. And many may find serving God as like, okay, they have come to the point of serving God, but they may be serving many incarnations, maybe Narayan, maybe Ramchandra, maybe many incarnations. Um, but those who render service and develop love for Krishna among those, they are greater. Better than all those who love Krishna, better than them are the gopis, who are always dependent on Krishna, the cowherd boy. And among all of gopis, Srimati Radhika is the best. So there is a gradation of place in the previous uh, verse, and this verse speaks about the gradation of devotees, gradation of place and gradation of devotees. Higher than karmis is Gyanis, higher than Gyanis are liberated Gyanis, higher than liberated Gyanis who have come to the conclusion are those who start serving God. Higher than those who start serving God are those who serve Krishna. Higher than those who serve Krishna are the pure devotees, basically. And higher than among all the pure devotees, the gopis are the best. And among the gopis, Srimati Radhika, Radharani is the best. And just as Radha is dear to Krishna, her lake Radha Kund is also dear to him. So who wouldn't take shelter of Radha Kund? And as much dear is Srimati Radharani to Krishna, that much dear is Radha Kund to Krishna. So who wouldn't take shelter of Radha Kund? See, again, all the three verses actually glorify Radha Kund. Up till now, it was like growing in our path of bhakti, and this is the culmination. Culmination, Shri Radha Kund. Some of the devotees were there when we went for Bahula Ashtami, the day when devotees take the divine snan on Radha Kund. We saw the glory of Radha Kund just by seeing how many people came to take part in Radha Kund. So gradation of devotees, and among all the devotees, Srimati Radharani is the best. And as much dear is Sri Radha, that much dear is her Kund, Sri Radha Kund. Progressive level of consciousness. Krishna's energies are threefold. There is spiritual, this is from the purport. There is spiritual, there is marginal, and there is material energies, which is also called Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tathashta Shakti. Antaranga Shakti is internal potency, Bahiranga Shakti is external potency, or Maya Shakti or material Shakti, and Tathashta is marginal or Jiva. So these are Krishna's threefold energies. The Jivas under the spell of Maya work hard for sense gratification. Those who are under the spell of illusion, today morning we were discussing, illusion is called Moha. Moha is one of the six anarthas. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar. So Moha is one of them. Moha is illusion. And those who are under the spell of Moha or Maya, they find this material world very attractive. And because of Moha, they don't feel a deep need, or they cannot take deep shelter of Krishna because they are covered by some layers over their mind, which is moha, and they are attracted to this world and things in this world and etc. So even if they think, I want to take shelter of Krishna, Krishna, I'm only yours, then there will be some feeling because of moha that, yeah, but I'm okay here also. I'm fine here. I'm happy here. And this is what are the things I need to make myself more comfortable. So all this desire is coming because the mind has this layer of moha in it. And so jivas under the spell of this moha or maya, they work very hard, or they have many desires and they are working to fulfill those desires. They are basically karmis. Karmis means they are attached to things in this. Vikarmis, Prabhupada says, Vikarmis are mad materialists who act for money and sense gratification without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. What is Vikarma? Vikarma is they engage in activities for pleasure, which is against the injunctions of the Shastras. They engage in impious acts and degrade to miserable births in lower species as animals and trees. Their next life of Vikarmi is they become animals or trees. They basically degrade. They engage in activities which are against scriptures, and the result is havoc in their journey in the next bodies. All their activities of ignorance simply serve as parabhava, their defeat, and so that's Vikarmi. Karmis are those, of course, higher than Vikarmis are karmis. Karmis also want sense gratification, but they find sense gratification properly through proper scriptural injunctions. They work for it and they get it. Vikarmi is like they just want to steal it. Those are Vikarmis. So karmis are those who desire material profit. They perform Vedic sacrifice, gain pious credit, and attain to the heavenly planets. But after exhausting their pious credit, they return to the earth. Bhagavad Gita 9:21. Satkarmis are firmly fixed in Sattva and are dedicated in performing virtuous deeds. So Satkarmis are they are working, but they are very much in goodness. Like nature, don't become angry, don't do irreligious acts, seems very peaceful, thoughtful, forgiving, very good people. But they are engaged in materialistic activities still. So they are called Satkarmis. They are basically pious karmis. Karmis in mode of goodness are Satkarmis. Then Gyanis are knowledgeable people who understand the higher values of life and the futility of fruitive acts that bind one to sense enjoyment and oblige one to transmigration. A Gyani is liberated from ignorance and the three material modes. So a Gyani can understand the three modes: this mode of passion, this mode of goodness, this mode of ignorance, um, and um, and they understand themselves as superior, as spiritual by nature. So they don't engage in materialistic activities, knowing that this is first thing. This is first thing. The pleasure is going to be temporary. Second thing, the anxiety and suffering will be quite a lot. And third thing, it will lead to undesirable births in the next life. So a Gyani can think and Gyani can understand this desire is coming because of either mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. So a Gyani can um, um, kind of think from all these different factors. That's why he's Gyani. And through that discrimination, today morning we were discussing, through that the Gyani can become liberated from ignorance and the three moods. Uh, So a Gyani is naturally higher than Karmi. Karmi is mad after temporary. A Gyani knows that this is going to end and the next destination will also not be advantageous. So he works on a higher platform, spiritual platform, becomes free, Jnana Vimuktas. Then a Jnani's knowledge is impure and incomplete until he comes to Bhakti and directly surrenders to Krishna's lotus feet and worship him. Such a great soul Mahatma is rare. Um, What is that verse? Beginning of that verse. Um, um, बहुनाम जन्मनाम अन्ते ज्ञानमां मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेवे सर्वमिति समात्मा सुदुर्लभा. So jnana bahunam janmanam ante. After many births, jnanamam mam prapadyate. Um, one one may come to this gyan, to this knowledge that Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So jnanis may take many births and they come to this conclusion that actually the source of everything is Krishna. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That person is a Mahatma who can come to the point. So Jnani is higher. And when Jnani come to the conclusion that Krishna is everything, वासुदेव सर्वमिति, सब कुछ वही है, सब उनसे ही आता है. He becomes a Mahatma, um, and that person is very rare. So higher than so many Gyanis is Gyanis who are free from the three modes and ignorance, and they don't act on those lower platform. And higher than them is those who realize that Krishna is the supreme. Um, and a premi bhakta loves Krishna deeply, and when they start serving Krishna, then eventually one may rise to the platform of premi bhaktas. One has developed love for Krishna. Now the gopis are the best of all premi bhaktas who develop unalloyed love for Krishna. And among all the premi bhaktas are in Santaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vasalyaras. Above all, they're all premi bhakta. Mother Yashoda has love for Krishna. Uh, we were discussing yesterday, Sri Dama, Subal, Madhu, Mangal, they have love for Krishna. And anybody who goes back to Godhead is only one who has love for Krishna. But higher position than all of them who has love for Krishna is the gopis. Their love is the highest. But also, um, um, a sakha will feel like his role is the highest. This is like transcendental. A servant will feel like his role is the highest. So everybody feels like their love is the highest. This is natural. Everybody feels in Vrindavan that um, there's nothing better than that. This is the best thing. This is what I want to be. Otherwise, why they want to be in that role? They feel like there's nothing better than that. For individual, that particular rasa is the highest, and that particular service, and that is the highest. But Chaitanya Charitamrita explains if we see objectively, then Madhurya Ras, Gopi's position is the highest. Um, and why? Because they don't know anything other than satisfying Krishna. They don't expect any return from Krishna. They never forget Krishna, although Krishna seemingly causes them suffering by leaving Vrindavan for Mathura. But actually, the gopis are always thinking of Krishna. And this Vipralamba Seva or thinking in separation is far better than serving Krishna directly. So there is Sambhog Seva and there is Vipralamba Seva. Sambhog Seva is when we are physically with Krishna and we are serving him personally, cooking for him, dressing him, personally serving him. Um, he is actually a ball of bliss. Krishna is ball of bliss, a blissful blue sapphire like form. Anybody goes close to him, like becomes super blissful. That's the power of Krishna's personal association. Like there is a verse of Prahlad Maharaj when he was remembering Krishna all the time. But when he actually saw Nrsingadev, when Nrsingadev came and was sitting on the throne, and when Prahlad Maharaj went close to Nrsingadev, Prahlad Maharaj says, "My Lord, the bliss I am feeling by being close to you, experiencing this, I completely reject liberation, impersonal liberation, or any other perfection because of what I'm experiencing by being near you." So Krishna is a ball of bliss. Anybody goes near them, it's like the experience is super. So they are very much attracted to being near Krishna. So that is Sambhog Seva. It's like you personally get a chance to serve Krishna. But higher than Sambhog Seva is Vipralamba Seva. Higher than that, like when Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, when gopis were still remembering Krishna. Remembrance is also a service. It is said service to Krishna can be rendered in 9 ways. Hearing about Krishna is serving him. Chanting Krishna's name is serving him, and Smaranam is serving him. People in this world think service means you iron their clothes, you wash their clothes, you feed, cook for them. That is also there. But devotional service is not limited to those things only. Rather, it is said various ways we can serve Krishna, and the best way we can serve Krishna is by hearing about Krishna and by chanting Krishna's names. That is the best service we can render to Krishna. So it's different from our conception of what we feel when we say serving somebody. It is different when we say serving Krishna. How do we best serve Krishna? Um, some people say, प्रभु जी hearing chanting नहीं होता बस सेवा में मन लगता है. I like to serve Krishna but not hearing chanting. So they are actually separating hearing and chanting from seva. They don't have this clear understanding that how hearing and chanting is the highest seva. So when Krishna left, then gopis were in this Vipralamba bhav. Vipralamba means separation. They were remembering when Krishna was there and feeling separation from Krishna. And why it is higher? Because it is more concentrated. Because the separation, like the example given is husband wife, or maybe father and son, or mother and children, father and children. So when they are together, there is naturally a joy there when they're staying together. But when they're separated, say one of them or some of them goes to India, then father or mother, whoever is separated, both of them feel way more love and separation from them. So that is Vipralamba. Vipralamba means when they are together, they are joyful if the relationship is healthy. But when they're separated, they even feel greater pleasure. But the difference between relationship in this world and relationship in spiritual world, here if you remember the other person, there is only there is no joy in remembering the other person. There is only separation and misery. I'm not with that person. But with Krishna, it's not like that. With Krishna, if Krishna is away and you're remembering him, that is the difference between being absolute. Being absolute means Krishna is personally there in his remembrance, Krishna is personally there in his name, Krishna is personally there in hearing about him, Krishna is personally there in any of his feature. But material people are not there in their name, in their activities, in their remembrance. And that's why when people are separated, naturally they feel it's a close example, but it cannot be the same. See, when we chant and when we are remembering Krishna, when we are absorbed in Krishna's form, maybe, or maybe Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's name, the experience is very good actually when we are absorbed. So because Krishna is absolute, everything about him is absolute. So that's why Vipralamba, because the remembrance is very concentrated. The remembrance is not that much concentrated even when we are with Krishna, but it is deeply concentrated when Krishna is away. This strong longing, just like we see in this word also. The love is even more. And because Krishna is absolute, that remembrance is not different. So the ecstasy is way higher. The ecstasy of Vipralamba is way higher. That's why when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he wanted to experience Vipralamba Bhav. Um, he's in the mood of Krishna experiencing the love of Srimati Radharani in separation from Krishna. That's why he was like in the mood of Radharani. Na? So he was always like, where is Krishna? He was in that mood. And he's like hurting himself, want to break open his chest to see where Krishna is. He's running and jumping into the ocean, running fast to Chataka Parvat, and he's in the mood of separation of where is Krishna. So this is the bhav Mahaprabhu wanted to experience. This is the bhav Krishna wanted to experience, and the Srimati Radharani and the gopis and Rajvasis wanted to experience. That's why Krishna left. This is the bhav Lord Ramchandra wanted to experience, Vipralamba bhav. That's why he banished Mother Sita, internal reason. Whenever the Lord comes now, Lord wanted to experience this highest rasa, Vipralamba Seva. But actually, the gopis are always thinking of Krishna, and this Vipralamba Seva or thinking in separation is far better. Prabhupada does not say better or higher, Prabhupada says far better than serving Krishna directly. Who doesn't want to serve Krishna directly? He's a ball of bliss. But because of Krishna's absolute nature, his Vipralamba is far better than Sambhog Seva. And their love is highest. Love is highest can also be seen how much they control Krishna. How much love we have, to that much extent we can control the other person. Like we dictate and they will do what we say. That much extent love is there. The father and mother can tell the child, the husband can tell the wife, wife can tell the husband. Wherever the amount of love is, that much control they can have on the other person. Other person passwords they know, bank accounts they know, or um, like um, they can say and the other person follows. So how much control defines how much love is there. So cowherd boys they control Krishna, but Mother Yashoda controls Krishna even more. If Krishna is playing and Mother Yashoda says चलो घर, तो Krishna says no no, no. Then Mother Yashoda कान मरोड़ती है कृष्णा को लेके जाती है. She can control Krishna more than cowherd boys, and more than Mother Yashoda can control Krishna. The gopis and Srimati Radharani controls Krishna. So in that way, higher than bhaktas are premi bhaktas, higher than premi bhaktas are the gopis, and higher than gopis is Srimati Radharani. The gopis also control Krishna, but they cannot control Krishna the way Srimati Radharani controls Krishna. Only Srimati Radharani controls Krishna. Um, so these are the gradation of devotees. Srimati Radharani is the highest of all the gopis. No one can excel her service to Krishna. The way she serves Krishna. Even Krishna cannot understand her attitude. So he took her position and appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings. Krishna himself thinks, "Kya? How? How he cannot understand Srimati Radharani's love for him, and he himself wanted to. He loves Srimati Radharani, but the amount of love Srimati Radharani has for Krishna is like um, far, like far excellent in a way actually. What she feels, the joy she feels, her love, everything is like far, far, far more than what Krishna feels. So Krishna thinks like, I am like Rasaraj. Rasaraj means the king of all the rasas. And her rasa is even greater than mine. So when Krishna wanted to enjoy the mood and the feeling of Srimati Radharani, then he comes as Gaura. He's Krishna himself, but takes the mood of Srimati Radharani to experience her joy, her love. So that's why there's nothing beyond Srimati Radharani. And Sri Radhakund is the most exalted place and is as dear to Krishna as Sri Radha, Padma Puran. So everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radhakund and execute bhakti there throughout their life. So knowing the position of Radhakund at some point of time, especially if they are aspiring for Madhurya, at some point of time they should ultimately take shelter of Radhakund and execute bhakti there throughout their life. But right now we have to deal with our anarthas, come out of our anarthas. Rest will come. Krishna will. Best sadhaka among the various varieties of sadhaka, one who performs bhakti while residing on the bank of Radhakund is the best and dearest to Sri Krishna and is the most fortunate person in the universe. A pure devotee in a spiritual body, surcharged with ecstatic devotional feeling, renders loving service to the divine couple Sri Radha Govinda who performed Ashtakaliya Leela. Just a little bit far ahead, we won't go in that detail. Um, but the idea of the best sadhaka is one who reside on the bank of Radhakund and performs bhakti. Um, he's the best and dearest to Sri Krishna Prabhupada says, and is the most fortunate person in the universe. Okay. So any discussion so far? Verse 10.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Vinay.
Vinay Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, if Bhakti Yoga is the best one, then understanding Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, is that will be Gyan Yoga, or like is it necessary to uh, study the scriptures?
That is Bhakti Yoga. See, Bhakti Yoga, one of the Bhakti has 9 angas, and the first anga of Bhakti is Shravana. Now, Shravana means what do we hear? So we hear about Krishna, we hear about words of Krishna, we hear about devotees of Krishna, we hear about prayers of devotees of Krishna. So we are understanding Bhakti Yoga through these. We are getting into the depth of Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, how do we understand Bhakti Yoga? Without studying those who have pure Bhakti Yoga. So everything in Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita is Lord Chaitanya, how he exhibited Bhakti. Everything is about Bhakti, Prabhu, these 3 books. Gyan
Like,
is like
go ahead.
Gyan is like let's explore. Bhakti is like let me understand. Bhakti. Gyan is like what's out there. There is something beyond that. And they read like Vedas and a lot of speculation, discussion, but they have no understanding of Krishna. They don't even know if God is there or not. They don't even know if God has a form or not. And they are finding, they are searching. That is Jnana Yoga.
Okay, so it's more of an analytical study rather than spiritual study, or
Perfect.
study with consciousness.
Yeah, Prabhu. It's how you, that's perfectly what Jnana Yoga is, analytical study. Analyze everything. The goal is to understand God. That is the goal of Jnana.
Okay, it's not necessarily to love the God, but just to understand who He is.
They don't even know who God is. How will they love? To love God, पहले तो God का पता होना चाहिए. They have no understanding. They're just analyzing on a material platform.
Okay, so it's just like if we, let's say, we put these books in school and they just study it as a study material rather than exploring exploring the bhakti bhava of it, just as reading as a book, right? That's
It's still, there is some bhakti there, but it depends upon who is explaining them. They can explain through Gyan perspective or through Bhakti perspective.
okay.
Okay. Thank you, Vinay Prabhu.
Hare
Anything
Krishna
else?
Guruji.
Gagan Prabhu, Hari Bol Prabhuji.
Guruji, as you said, residing on the banks of Radhakund is the ultimate, like utmost
Hmm.
place to live for pure devotees. But from the example of Srila Prabhupada, we can see like the serving the order of Guru is even more better than residing at Radhakund, because he left Vrindavan to serve the order of his spiritual master, and he left at the age of 70 rather than living in the Vrindavan like other sannyasis at that time.
Hmm. So, what is the question? Is that true
So,
or not?
yes,
You are perfect actually. Higher than living at Radhakund is serving Guru's order actually. Amazing. There is nothing like that. But there is one more line, Prabhu, is like Srila Prabhupada was carrying Vrindavan and Radhakund wherever he went. So that was within his heart all the time. He was constantly aware of Vrindavan. Wherever he was like, I'm missing Vrindavan. And he went and he made every place as Vrindavan. And it is said that Vrindavan can travel through the hearts of pure devotees. So wherever they go, that place also becomes Vrindavan. So in that way, this verse is also true following Guru and going out of the nation, as well as residing in Vrindavan, both are true for Srila. For us, reciting at Radha Kund is not recommended. That's why Rupa Goswami says before we get here, first Rupa Goswami says, first 8 verses are there, and one has awakened his natural chanting, one is absorbed. We discuss the 5 kind of Smarana Dasha, and when one is on a very advanced stage, then one may come to Radha Kund and reside there and do bhajan there, or one may carry Vrindavan in their mind and travel all over, and both options are there. Like it is described 2 kind of devotees, Bhajanandi, Goshtanandi, those who preach and those who are interested in bhajan. Those who are Goshtanandi can go and reside there and practice bhajan. Sorry, those who are Bhajanandi. Those who are Goshtanandi preaching can carry Vrindavan within their heart and go and preach. And um, both are great. Does it
Yes, Prabhuji.
combine?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Kadan Pranam. Okay, anything else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
No.
Prabhuji, what does the word Goshcha mean? You said Goshchanandi.
Goshtanandi is preaching.
Right, but like what does the word mean?
घोष घोष्टि
Bengali.
it's आपस में बात करना.
Oh, it's a Bengali word, Prabhuji? Sorry, Prabhuji, I don't think we need to go on a tangent. I'll ask another question. When you were talking to Vinay Prabhuji, you said that when the books are read, for example, like in Gyan Yoga, they look at something like in a spirit, not in a spiritual, but a material way. So will that be when impersonalists are trying to attain knowledge when they're talking about the effulgence of Krishna, but they don't know where the effulgence is coming from? So will that be looking at it in a it will be looking at it in a spiritual perspective, right?
There is a spiritual perspective, but it's not God conscious.
Okay.
It's more like okay, this mode of passion. So they're analyzing matter, this mode of passion, and they're rejecting matter by analyzing the nature, the karma, the 3 modes, the desires, the result of fulfilling those desires. Based on what scripture says, they come, they discuss, but at the end of Gyan Yoga is to get to know there is God and who God is. So that's why it the knowledge is coming from Vedas and other books, but they still don't know God yet.
Oopsie, last question. When you talked about hearing and chanting that that's the best service,
Mhm.
I was under the understanding that maybe they get more advanced as we go through 1 through the 9 stages, like Atmanivedanam and Samarpan at the end. So I'm just like, that's what I understood. But maybe you can like clarify a little bit more, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Uh, um, okay, so one cannot practice Atmanivedanam, Sakhyam, unless one is very advanced. But one can practice Shravanam Kirtanam um, even at the beginning stages. So that's why they said Atmanivedanam is something for advanced devotees. Um, but all 9 of them can parallelly take us to perfection, to lotus feet of Krishna. So it's not that um, Shravanam Kirtanam will, okay, now, will Shravanam Kirtanam lead to Atmanivedanam? Yes. Um, Eventually, all 9 will be practiced as one become pure. But what I'm trying to say is any one of them is sufficient to attain perfection. Nectar of Devotion explains uh, Parikshit Maharaj attained perfection just by Shravanam. Sukadev Goswami attained perfection just by Kirtanam. And among these nine, Shravanam Kirtanam is the best because they will lead to Atma Samarpanam. But directly Atma Samarpanam without the consciousness become purified. So Shravanam Kirtanam will not be attained. Does it make sense? Is it clear?
Yes,
Relationship.
yes, Prabhuji, it makes sense because they are the building stones up to the next one. So they are like important to be getting to the next ones. That makes sense, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
But the goal of these two, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, it's not that these two will lead to that and that will lead to perfection. That itself parallelly can take us to lotus feet of Krishna. And in fact, these are what Mahaprabhu says as the most important, and that will follow naturally. Or yeah, that's the best way I can explain.
So is it more like in this age, Prabhuji, hearing and chanting is the best as recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So are we talking about this age or in general?
I mean, certainly in this age, in other ages also, I mean, are they most important? I cannot say that, but I can say there are other processes. There is remembrance, there is yagya, there is deity worship, there are other processes which are recommended based on time, place, circumstances. Um, but when Sanatana Goswami asks Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blanket question, he says, what are the nine, what are the various ways of bhakti? These are the nine ways Mahaprabhu says. Sanatana Goswami asks, what is the most important among these nine? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Shravanam and Kirtan. Then Sanatana Goswami asks, among these two, Mahaprabhu says Kirtan.
Can you repeat Prabhuji last word?
Among these two, Shravanam Kirtan, which is more important? Mahaprabhu says Kirtan.
Amazing, Prabhuji. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Uh, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, what should be our mood like in serving Krishna? Because we hear that we should have that dasya rasa, like jivara swarupa hai Krishna ra nitya das. But here it is said that those who are in madhurya ras, they can only reside in Radha Kund.
Hmm.
So, what should be our mood like in serving Krishna? So, what is the best one?
Very good, Mataji. So, Mataji, we don't force any mood on us. And Dasya Ras is there, present in all the other rasas. Like Dasya Ras has Santa Ras. Sakya Ras has Dasya Ras and Santa Ras. Vasalya Ras has Sakya Ras, Dasya Ras and Santa Ras. Madhurya Ras has all the other four. So, considering oneself, even Srimati Radharani, even Nanda Baba, they all think themselves as, there are verses in Bhagavatam where they all think themselves as, we are only a servant of Krishna. Ekala Ishvara Krishna आर सब भृत्या. चैतन्य चरितामृत एक्सप्लेन्स केवल एक ही ईश्वर है. एकल ईश्वर कृष्ण आर सब भृत्य, बाकी सब सर्वेंट है, केवल एक ही वो है. So the understanding that we are Krishna's servant is common to all the devotees. And then as we in that mood we serve, it's a perfect mood to serve. I'm servant of Krishna, I'm trying to serve Krishna. And then as we grow more and more and hear more and more, and if you are attracted to a particular relationship with Krishna, then encourage that. But even if you encourage that, the feeling that I am servant of Krishna is like the baseline which will be there forever in all the devotees. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. But sometimes, like when we are serving Gopalji, like Baschalya Rasa come out. Like, um, so it should not be there, Prabhuji.
Well, if the feeling is he is my child, let me take care of him. If it is coming naturally, we don't discourage. But what we say is, um, don't conclude. Keep a benefit of doubt. Benefit of doubt means I really like serving Krishna, like my baby, like my child. I'm gonna feed him. I'm gonna take care of him. If that mood is coming, that's wonderful. We can encourage, but keep a benefit of doubt. Don't conclude that this is what I am. I am. I want to be like Mother Yashoda. Don't conclude. Srila Prabhupada says more and more clarity comes as we progressively advance. But maybe not. If I'm inclined, encourage it. Is that all right, Mataji? Does it help?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Sureshwar Gopi Mataji. Anything else? Krishna's yochai pranaya vashati preyashibhyopi radha kundam chasya muni viravitastadre eva. There is some other meter. I will not try. Or maybe I'm not reading it correctly. Anyways, I'll go with the translation. Of the many objects of favor and of all the lovable damsels of Braja, Srimati Radharani is the most treasured object of Krishna's love. Similarly, Radha's divine kund is very dear to Krishna as described by the sages. Radha kund is rarely attained even by premi bhaktas like Narada. What to speak of ordinary devotees practicing Vaidhi Bhakti? If one simply bathes even once, Aprakrita Snan, if one simply bathes even once in its holy water, one's pure love for Krishna, like the gopis, is fully aroused. So this shows that the importance of bathing in Sri Radhakund. And it is said that even once if we bathe in Sri Radhakund, um, one's pure love for Krishna, like that of the gopis, will be fully aroused. Wow, this is the glory of Radhakund. And even Premi Bhaktas like Narad Muni and others also can rarely attain Radha Kund. What to speak about Vaidhi Bhaktas, like talking about ourselves, or at least myself. What to speak about Vaidhi Bhaktas. Even such pure devotees also cannot comprehend the glories of Sri Radha Kund. Okay, this is the last verse. Why is Radha Kund so exalted? The 10th verse describes the glory of Sri Radha Kund, and the 11th verse intend to invoke steadfast faith of Radhakund in the heart of sadhakas. So 10th verse is like among all this higher than karmis is Gyani, Vimukta Gyani, Bhakta, Premi Bhakta, Gopi, Srimati Radharani, and as real as that is Sri Radhakund. So the glory of even the first verse, Vaikuntha, material word, Vaikuntha, Mathurapuri, Dwarka, Mathurapuri, and Vrindavan, Govardhan, and then Radhakund. So this is like all the three verses are actually glorification of Radhakund. And here the benefit of or the effect of one bathing in Radhakund is described also. Like the intention is to invoke steadfast faith in Radhakund in the heart of sadhakas. Like ekdam hriday mein, um, in your heart, like pakka kar lo ki this is what the glory of Radhakund. Imagine there are 11 Upadesh by Rupa Goswami, and out of them, 8 are instructions, Vaidhi and Raganuga Bhakti, 7 are Vaidhi Bhakti, 8th one is Raganuga Bhakti, and remaining is Bhav and Prem. These 3 verses, and all the 3 verses are describing the glories of Radhakund. Sri Radhakund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their bhakti in the wake of the girlfriend Sakhis and confidential serving maids Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. So Sakhis are like Lalita Devi, Vishakha Devi, the friends of Srimati Radharani, and there are others also. Other Sakhis are also there. They are similar age as Srimati Radharani, little bit elder or little bit younger. They are all around 14 years. Srimati Radharani and her Sakhis. Um, um, Saib Bihar. There are many more who are, and some of them again. This topic is very high, and I don't have the adhikar to speak on this topic. Um, some are more dear to Krishna, some are more dear to Srimati Radharani, some are equally dear to Radha and Krishna, and there are unlimited numbers of Sakhis. And then they are called, um, in the wake of the girlfriends, Prabhupada says, or Sakhis, and confidential serving maids. Serving maids are, they are younger, they are like 11 and 12 years old. Compared to Radharani and the Sakhis, they are 14 years old, or 13 and a half to 14 and a half, in that range. They are 10 and a half to 11 and a half, very young. Um, and they are personal servants of Srimati Radharani. They are closer, or they render even more confidential service to Srimati Radharani. And examples are Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, all the Goswamis, Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Babaji Maharaj. They all serve as manjaris, or younger maid servants of Srimati Radharani. Um, um, uh, the mood of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is this mood. Okay. Then those who are eager to return to Goloka in their spiritual body, Siddha Deha. Okay, now one thing is, Sri Radha Kund is most select place for those interested in advancing their bhakti in the wake of the Sakhis or Manjaris. Sri Radha Kund is most appropriate for them. But for those who are not in the same rasa as Madhurya rasa, for them some other place, every place has a particular bhav, had a particular. Raman Reti is Raman Reti is more like Sakha Bhav or Vasalya Bhav. Um, every Nand Bhavan is also, there is lot of Sakha Bhav there in Nand Bhavan, although Madhurya Bhav is also there. Um, Barsana is more of Madhurya Bhav. Um, Srimati Radha Kund is primarily Madhurya Bhav. So in that way, the place also, or even like, yeah. Anyways, the place has a particular bhav, and meditating on the bhav in a particular place is like, that's the right way to visit Vrindavan. Uh, Somebody performing, say, Sakha Bhav Seva on the bank of Radhakund becomes Rasabhas. Rasabhas means intermixing of incompatible rasas, not recommended. Or meditating of Sakha Bhav in Radhakund is like Rasabhas. Meditating on Madhurya Ras at Raman Reti is Rasabhas. So right way to visit Vrindavan um, is the matching the, basically devotees will be more attracted to one place over the other. But again, one should not be too quick to make any conclusions. Rather, one should practice sincere service to Lord Chaitanya and be patient as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals to us. That's okay. That was the second paragraph. Those who are eager to return to Goloka in their spiritual body, Shuddha Deha. Siddha Deha. Siddha Deha means spiritual body. Should live at Radhakund, bathe there regularly, take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha, and serve her under their direction. So, those who are eager to go to Goloka, especially in Madhurya Ras, either in Sakhi Bhav or Manjari Bhav, um, too high for me to speak on. Um, they should live at Radhakund, serve under one of the associate of Srimati Radharani. Um, um, when it is revealed to them, or a particular um, uh, associate of Srimati Radharani is very dear to them, and how that associate serves Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. One can serve under their guidance. And this is basically Raganuga Bhakti, which is following a resident of Vrindavan, following a Ragatmika Bhakta. And if Ragatmika Bhakta is Madhurya Ras, then do bhajan on the bank of Radhakund. is most conducive. Even if one cannot live permanently on the bank of Radhakund, one should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. If you cannot live there, still it is recommended to take bath as many times as you can. One will obtain the topmost prema by transcendently residing on its bank, aloof from all material desires. It is also mentioned when you go to Radhakund, um, best is aloof from all material desires, especially when we are residing there. If we don't reside for any material desire, one should not go to Radhakund with any desire. One should go to Radhakund if one is seriously willing to go back to Godhead in a particular relationship with Krishna and perfect one's life. Only with that desire one can attain topmost prema by residing there when one is in that mood. Constantly bathing in its waters and performing deep meditational worship of Srimati Radhika. Culmination of bhajan is living at Radhakund. This is a summary. The pure spirit soul should externally take constant shelter of Harinam, internally in one's spiritually perfected eternal form as a gopi render service to Srimati Radharani by deeply meditating on Sri Krishna's Ashtakarya Leela. Attaining Goloka, thus after giving up one's material body, one will attain an eternal spiritual body and be again in direct eternal service to Srimati Radharani. So the essence is when one has come to that stage when Harinam is awakened, one is very much attracted to Krishna's pastimes. And after hearing about Krishna more and more and more, one is very much attracted to say Madhurya Ras about Krishna. Then after hearing about all the associates of Krishna in that particular rasa, one may be attracted to one particular associate in the particular rasa we are inspired by. And then doing bhajan under their guidance and hearing about their service to Krishna and meditating on that. And slowly, slowly, one may uh, realize oneself also, what is one's own service to Sri Krishna and Srimati Radha, the divine couple. Um, and when one is fully absorbed in that mood, in that form, and once fully realize oneself while doing bhajan, the material body, on the bank of Radhakund, when one is fully aware of how one will serve Krishna and realize oneself, then one will get a chance to personally serve Krishna where Krishna is performing his pastimes. Um, and further absolute perfection is attained, and then one will finally attain Goloka. This is the overall process, overall goal of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so let's see, are there any
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Gagan Prabhu? Yes.
So Prabhuji, like this Updeshamrita is for all devotees, not for only Madhuryadas people only.
Yes, correct.
So, like for example, if one is in, let's say, Sakya Bhav, then and if he's reading this and he'll read last three verses also, then isn't it like uh, I don't know what to say, like
Like,
weird?
misguided.
Yeah,
Misguided.
misguiding for him.
No, they will be inspired within their heart. Ultimately, Rupa Goswami is giving the importance of Radha Kund. But it is also said that any rasa is possible by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. And bathing in Radha Kund and begging for her mercy will reveal to us whatever is required. Ultimately, we follow within our heart. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yanama upayanti. Krishna will give us the intelligence by which we can attain perfection if we are sincere. But at the same time, if somebody like Rupa Goswami wants to mention, that's why he's clear in his presentation. And he wants to mention, okay, there is something which is higher. Also, it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give this particular mood of Madhurya Ras. Mahaprabhu came to give this. And the whole sampradaya is in that line. the Goswamis and the Acharyas, they're all following that line. Um,
So,
and
like, if somebody is in Gaudiya Sampradaya, then he's most likely to be in.
no, not necessary. Not necessary. I see your point, not necessary. And that's why Nectar of Devotion further elaborates on that. Nectar of Devotion uh, discusses all the five rasas in detail. And this is just like the Upadeshamrita is like summarizing. Nectar of Devotion is more detailed. And here Rupa Goswami has given us a hint to the highest of the highest, which is Sri Radha. So he has given that much understanding here.
Guruji. Hare
You know,
Krishna.
more details in the next book. Okay, anything else?
Prabhuji, without reading these books, I did not know that even there are so many moods of love.
बहुत vast है, बहुत expensive है प्रभु कृष्णा भक्ति, है ना? It's
Yes, it feels unlimited varieties are there.
uh, Krishna says, Srila Prabhupada said that the purpose of variety is pleasure. So there's so much variety, and Krishna derives pleasure. He's Rasaraj. He derives pleasure from everywhere.
Yes.
It's amazing. Yeah, very vast, but still opens our horizon to like something beyond, something beyond our like something to look forward to basically.
Right, right, right.
Thank you, Vinay Prabhu.
In March, we're planning to go to Vrindavan, so I will have the mood before
Yeah,
going to
anybody who hears these three verses definitely goes to Radha Kund Prabhu. अभी इतना सुनने के बाद कि कोई कैसे नहीं जाएगा, obviously. Okay, anything else before we end?
Prabhuji, as it is mentioned that if one stays at Radhakund, like after getting some spiritual advancement in their life, and after that, so they will receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani, and that's how they will like enter their pastimes. I mean, that's what I'm understanding from this.
Yes, that is Rupa Goswami's recommendation. Srila Prabhupada also said, once you have attained that stage, Srila Prabhupada said, you can either go to Vrindavan and do bhajan there, or you can continue your preaching. Prabhupada says, either way you will attain perfection. And Srila Prabhupada showed by his own example how after he attained perfection also, and I mean Srila Prabhupada is Nitya Siddha devotee. Until the last minute, Prabhupada was translating Srimad Bhagavatam and guiding devotees and helping them and giving them these literatures. And see how many, all of us are getting helped by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, what he has done, and how many people are getting delivered because of his mercy. So Prabhupada says, at the end stage, you have a choice, and Prabhupada says, either is okay. Saraswati Thakur continuously preached, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur took uh, like um, mm, like sitting in his home in Calcutta, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and performing bhajan there. Because and Bhaktivinoda Thakur is deeply absorbed in this mood. He is actually Kamala Manjari, deeply absorbed in this mood. But he was sitting in Calcutta in his home, Bhakti Bhavan, and meditating and attain perfection through that. Um, is it all right? Some examples.
Yes, Prabhuji. So in any case, one needs mercy of Srimati Radharani. My question is, I'm trying to understand, like when there are other Naikas in Golok Vrindavan, they also had to go through Srimati Radharani's mercy. Like so Srimati Radharani is so merciful that she also gave mercy to people or who are acting opposite to her, like, you know.
It's a little bit and out of the scope of this subject matter. But yes, Srimati Radhika's mercy is needed by any transcendentalist. That answer is correct.
Those Naikas, they were Jiva souls at some time, Prabhuji.
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
Some of them are Shakti Tattva, some of them are Jiva Tattva. Any perfection is available in Mahaprabhu's mission.
Okay. Prabhuji, nectar of instruction, I know is a summary, but nectar of devotion is like even detailed. So it's like to know about it or like trying to understand it is another thing, and actually following it is a whole another thing.
Yes.
What should be done to, should it be read regularly? Like regularly reading, should that help? Or like what can we do to actually start to follow it better?
It's an internal path, Mataji. It's something that Krishna gives from within our heart. Um, and we do things that attract Krishna's mercy. And it is said Krishna's mercy is attracted to the mercy of spiritual master. Uh, and when Krishna is sufficiently pleased, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased, and Nityananda Prabhu is pleased, they will hold our hand and take us to where they want. And our mood is it's not something that we can cultivate. It's something that is blessed. We can be blessed with. Um, and we are willing to wait patiently. We are happy in our services, whatever we are doing now, and we are willing to serve the Lord without any desire or expectation. Uh, uh, and let Lord take charge of our lives when He wants. And we just try to be sincere. And this mood is very much dear to Guru Parampara and their Lordship and Spiritual Master. And they will bless us certainly one day.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you for answering.
Thank you. Anything else? Now I have a question for everyone. Just I'll take. Oh, it's late. But just one quick question. Can we have exam next week on Nectar of Instruction? And probably we will do the exam on Tuesday itself. Next Tuesday. How does everyone feel? Or do we do next to next week?
Prabhuji,
How is the
uh,
example?
what will be the format of the exam? Like, is there any assignment or some sample question paper kind of thing?
एक्चुअल क्वेश्चन पेपर देंगे तो मैं बस आपको उसी दिन देंगे. So bro, assignment is there. I will send the assignment today or tomorrow. Devotees will have 1 week time to complete the assignment, and exam will appear right during the class. And it's 2 hours. It's closed book. So devotees will start writing the exam uh, uh, under vigilance, and then they will turn back uh, right away. So exam is very strict, but the assignment is open book. So devotees can refer to the book. The purpose of exam is simple. Everybody will pass, I guarantee you. Anybody who has heard will easily go beyond it and probably achieve 100% marks also. So no fear required. Um, and once you read Nectar of Instruction, you will be able to make it easily. Um, uh, the purpose of exam is the purpose of Bhakti Shastri course is okay, have we absorbed it? Do we understand it? That's all. That is the purpose.
Will we be asked for the verses, Prabhuji, in Sanskrit? I mean,
No, just the understanding. Like
okay.
things can be as simple as if you understand the translation, you don't have to remember the translation word by word, but understand, you should be able to recollect what is in the translation. No need to word. For example, what are the six urges? Or what are the six kind of loving exchanges? Um, so the word by word is not required. What are the 6 things favorable for bhakti, 6 things unfavorable? Can you explain in 2 lines? So it will be that simple.
That makes sense, Prabhuji. Somebody wrote maybe next to next week.
Oh, okay. So next to next week, Tuesday, we will do. Do we? Is it like? Is I think it's pretty clear. But do we need a review session, or we can start with nectar of devotion? What do you all think?
I would go for a review session, Prabhuji. And also,
Yes, Prabhuji. My review session is required, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Prabhuji, you have a lot of PPTs, but the book, like I was looking at the content, what you present and what is in the book, like uh, I will have to go through all the videos. Means it's much more easier when you are explaining than when we are reading the book. Uh, like need to go to the all sessions again to understand it better.
do we need to like know the purports as well, Prabhuji, other than like what you mentioned in the lecture, giving some examples and things like that?
I would recommend one reading of purport. One reading. I believe I believe 4 5 hours overall is sufficient to read the entire. One reading of purport and what we discussed, and in review session also I will discuss the main points. So these things should make our exam pretty easy, I feel.
Prabhuji, for Nectar of Devotion, would you recommend us like how I'm trying to understand the pace that it'll go with so that I know if I have to like read the book as we go?
Yeah. Nectar of Devotion, once we start, I will explain the format and how many chapters and what is the recommended reading. I will explain that when we start Nectar of Devotion.
Okay, Prabhuji, with or without the review, I'm fine with the exam. I mean, you can ask others. Thank you, Prabhuji.
We can have the review next week and then exam next week.
Yeah, okay. What we can do is next Tuesday we can review. Next Wednesday we will begin Nectar of Devotion. And then the Tuesday after that we can have an exam. And the Wednesday we will do Nectar of Devotion session 2. And then we continue. Assignment I will release tomorrow. And devotees can return by next Tuesday. The assignment, it is open book, and assignment helps us to basically search for the answer, and when we are writing the answer, best recommendation is don't copy paste. Best recommendation, you read it through the book and then you close the book, you recollect and you write in your own words. If you can write in your own words the assignment questions from all the every chapter has some assignment question, and if you can write in your own words, you will recollect most of it, and that will really help us with the exam. And then after assignment, when we do review, you would have read most of it and have gone through many, and then we can take some more questions if you have some doubts and review, and that should be pretty good. Does this
Prabhuji,
sound good? Ah,
Prabhuji, will
Gagan.
you provide the presentation slides as well?
I will send it, Prabhu. All the presentation slides I will share in the group.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, so I think we'll end here. Thank you for joining and for all of your patience. Panchakalpatarubhesha kripasindhumeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo anantakoti vaishnavvrinda ki jai. Thank you very much. Prabhuji's Mataji's Dharma Pranam Sari Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji.
Hari,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.